ring, Kai Stewart.
Make sure y'all stay on point with the Puncher's Point. What is good, y'all? Welcome back to the Puncher's Point. Now, if y'all know anything about this channel, y'all know I love interviews. I've interviewed boxers, I've interviewed MMA fighters, but we're in a treat for tonight because this is the first bare knuckle fighter I'm going to be interviewing. It's a pretty good one at that, too. Joining me today, a 9-0 combat record, 8-0 in bare knuckle, and the BKFC Featherweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen, King Kai Stewart.
What's up, bro? Thank you for the intro. Yeah, I didn't realize. Sure. I'm so locked in for this fight, man. I didn't realize I was your first bare knuckle fighter. Thank you for putting some light on the good, on the sweeter science is what I'm gonna call it.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I feel like it's definitely a combat sport that a lot of fans need to be educated on. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about that throughout the episode. But first, I want to point to your fight against Nico Gaffe, March 20th, Hollywood, Florida, Hard Rock Casino. Now, overall, again, it could be looked at as a high-pressure fight. Both of you guys are undefeated. I know he's 4-0. And first, I want to talk about overall how you feeling physically, mentally, spiritually, all those types of things. Overall, how are you feeling going into this fight?
Yeah, man, I feel great. So this was the longest I've been without a fight since the start of my amateur career. So I stayed ready. This is the first time I really took control of staying ready in the off season. I'm not saying that I don't do anything typically, but I typically give myself a lot of rest time, a lot of time to be a human, go on the boat, this and that. But there kept being rumors of dates that I was going to get. So I put in like 3 back-to-back fight camps since my last fight. So we started this camp in the best shape I've ever been in. Over the off season, we said yes to a short notice 8-day short notice 155-pound title shot. They ended up giving it to the UK guy Ben Bonner. This was supposed to be against Tony Soto in Texas, but I'm pretty sure he ducked a fight against me. But so just being able to say yes to my champ status fight on 8 days notice should put a pretty good gauge on where I'm at actually leading into a fight night, with a full camp.
This guy's a pro because he literally just answered my whole follow-up question. I was going to talk about that 11-month period, but you already discussed it. So I know that on social media, you said you're knocking him out. Now, I got to ask you, is it going to be one of those fights where it's just going to be get him out as quick as possible? Or do you want to have a little bit of fun in there before you get that job done, before you seal the deal?
Man, as much as people talk shit about it, I think the fans actually love watching a King Kai fight. They get their money's worth. It doesn't matter if I go finish it in the first round, which I have done twice, even though my last 6 fights have been decision wins. But I impose my will literally on these other men the whole fight. So what's better? A happenstance knockout, because most knockouts, even at the highest level, like people can't just pick the shot that they're gonna knock people out with. Knockouts have to just kind of flow, and they happen. That's why every time somebody gets a knockout, it's a huge celebration, because it's like, oh wow. But I say what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna break him. So first things first, I'm gonna break Nico Gaffe, and then if he ends up getting finished, he gets finished. But he seems like a tough little nut to crack. He's like all of 5'2". So we're gonna those littler guys sometimes be the tougher guys. So I do think he's gonna be a tougher nut to crack, but at the end of the day, I think I'm gonna 50-45 him at the minimum. I do think I'm gonna knock him all over that ring. I would love to get a finish, but at the end of the day, my game plan is to just break him, make him second guess ever getting in the ring with me. And if that's how he truly feels, I win. I win every time.
And it's funny how you said that, because it actually sparked a new question in my mind. So you're coming back off of an 11-month layoff. Now, hypothetically, you said at the worst, 50-45 him, you clean sweep him on the card. If you go in there and you clean sweep him off the card off of an 11-month layoff, is it fair to say that it's only going to get better from there against anybody else, considering the fact that this is the longest you've been away from the sport?
Yeah, and it's, some people are worried about ring rust. I don't think that that's going to be an issue. Uh, I've loved my time off. I've learned a lot in my time off. I've had a lot of fun. I got to travel a lot of cool places. I think that no matter what, it's going to continue to get better and better and better. I started boxing stand up focus in 2021. So I'm still so new in my stand up fighting career. Even in my MMA days, I had no interest in standing and banging. I wanted to take people down and choke them out. I didn't want to take brain damage. So it's all new to me. So regardless of, even if Nico Gaffe takes me to a war, he won't outdog me. But if he takes me to a war, I'll still be levels better in my next fight. Just because I have a lot to learn, So,
Let's talk about that wrestling background for a little bit, because for people who may not
yeah.
know you or not follow the sport, you were a good wrestler, especially coming
Mhm.
up. I mean, once I looked it up, three-time Double A Montana State finalist. You were a state champion in 2018. However, you
Mhm.
made the transition to BKFC in 2021. First off, how did you even land on Bare Knuckle's radar to begin with? And number two, what made you transition from wrestling all the way to a solely stand-up sport?
Man, first off, Montana wrestlers are different dogs. So wrestling is a winter month sport. Montana sees -50 consistently, -50, -30. There will be a negative in front of that zero for 60 days out of the winter, 70 days out of the winter. So I do want to put light on that. Um, but really, it was a combination of things. I was ready to go pro. I had 10 amateur fights, 3 split decision losses. All of them are wars that were not wars. I didn't take any crazy damage, but I learned a lot from them. So we were ready to go pro anyway. Um, we were looking for pro MMA opponents, and Bare Knuckle needed a ticket seller. So the main reason I did it was because I wanted to buy a puppy. I wanted to buy a puppy, and they were offering me the same amount of money for my base purse as the puppy. And then my I was like, I justified. I was like, okay, my base purse pay plus my ticket commission pay. Like, I'm a huge ticket seller. Like, hell yeah, I'm gonna make a bag. So we go and do that, and then it happened to be headlined by Joe Diesel Riggs, a UFC fighter, but I have no respect for him. I actually had it just to be a fucker. He sucker punched me one time, or sucker hit me. His thumb crossed my eye, and I ended up just getting a restraining order on him just to be a fucker. And so like I have to go get that lifted to be able to be on the fight card, since we would be in the same building. And it was just so funny. Like I fucking drug Joe Diesel Riggs into court. It was hilarious. But yeah, that guy, yeah, that's beside the point. So basically, I wanted to do it to spite him. There's tons of videos of him saying I can't punch my way out of a paper bag, this and that. This kid is a subpar amateur. And so having a high level guy, like high level, whatever. What did he really win? But having somebody like that talking so much shit about me, some 40-year-old talking shit at me, who was, I believe, 21 at the time of my debut. I knew him since I was like 19. So there was just multiple years of just fucked shit from him. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. Then Monday morning after one fight, the official first ever rankings came out and they put me in there. So I was like, fuck it, let's just keep going. Let's see how good we are. And they ranked me at, I think, fourth or fifth, and the rest is history, man.
It's crazy, just the motivation. Like, it's as simple as, it's not like, because the cliche answer from a lot of fighters would have been, oh, this is gonna be my ticket into the UFC. This is gonna be the way I'm gonna get discovered. This is gonna be the way I'm gonna take that next
Mhm.
step. You're like, nah, I just want a puppy, man. Like, it's as simple,
Yeah.
something as simple as that. And
Listen, I was a poor college kid, bro. I was a straight poor college kid, fucking selling sponsorships, selling tickets to amateur fights to get by. And Bare Knuckle gave a small town Montana kid a shot, and I took it and ran with it. Some people get shots and they waste their potential, waste their opportunity away. And I knew that this is my way to a better life, and fucking did it, dude. We haven't done it. Listen, I'm happy. I'm blessed. Me and my family are blessed, but we're not there yet. We are not fucking done yet.
All I can say, man, is look, college kids have done something a lot worse for some change, for a lot less change than what you probably got for that puppy.
For real.
Um, Now I want to talk about a highlight moment in your career. June 9th, 2023, you became the inaugural BKFC Featherweight Champion. You defeated Louis Lopez in Montana at that. Now, overall, regardless of what happens from your career here on out, you are the first featherweight champion in BKFC history. Nobody's taking that away from you. You're automatically going to be in the history books forever. There's going to be champions come and go, but that inaugural will always stay. Now, one guy that it seems like you kind of looked up to going into the sport, Conor McGregor. I mean, millions have looked up to Conor McGregor. They either looked up to him or they didn't like him or whatever the case might be. You've been motivated by Conor McGregor at least one point in your life, regardless of who you are. He said, and I quote, "You are a unique puzzle." So first, talk about that career-defining moment. And after the fight, did you see any shift in attention? Like, did you see like the popularity go up like instantly? Were there any did you start getting sponsors? Did you see any type of shift in attention or popularity after that career win?
So which career win? Whenever Connor said that, or my inaugural one?
You know what? Let's go both, because I know you were mentioned
Yep.
on Base Zone after he gave you that praise. So
Yes, 100%. So my inaugural fight, that one had a lot of emotion. So Louis Lopez was a pawn in the game. He had no business being in there with me. He gave me a good fight. Let me be fair. I do think that he won the first round because he split me up. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of nerves on that one. And if him and I were to fight now, it would be a absolute disaster for him. But he was training under Mr. Joe Riggs. So I do have to thank Mr. Joe Riggs for having beef with me, because we both were living and training in the same town. During one of his bare knuckle interviews, I drove behind Louis Lopez in my car because I knew where he was doing this interview at. And I was like flipping the camera. It was great. Highlight real shit. So, shout out to that guy, like those guys for having enough beef with me to bring bare knuckle to my hometown for my inaugural world title. At my last high school wrestling meet at my home gym, the CMR Holiday Classic, I beat the guy that I took to like a ultimate tiebreaker for the championship the previous year. I think it was like 15-4. I just stomped his shit in, and I hit the McGregor strut after that, and my coach had that on video. And of course, I didn't even want to fight. Conor McGregor did not inspire me in that way. He inspired me to bring the Conor McGregor attention, the heel, the bad guy, to like freestyle Greco Olympic wrestling sport, put wrestling on the map, try to be a character there. That didn't happen because wrestling is fucking tough. But not saying bare knuckle isn't, just wrestling is so established. It's the world's oldest sport. There's only 9 weight classes total. There's 7 for the Olympics, I think. It's ridiculous. So that just kind of faded. So I was like, fuck it, I'll try to make it to the UFC. And then, bare knuckle came, and now he's my boss. My coach showed him the video of me doing the McGregor strut after that match, because he had it. One of my coaches is my middle school wrestling coach, so he's always been around. But as for the question, sorry to get on that tangent. I just thought that was a cool story. But yes, like every time Conor McGregor would collab a post with me, I would shoot up 10,000 followers, 15,000 followers. Like, people think that like I got accused of buying my followers, but it's like Conor McGregor has the craziest fucking pull I've ever seen in my life. Because listen, I don't get crazy engagement whenever it's just my face. Any video I post with Conor McGregor, even if he doesn't collab it, is just viral video after viral video. Facebook, this one video has gotten 4 million views 5 different times. It's me facing off with this guy, and Conor McGregor's in the background. So things changed after Conor McGregor showed up. Not to mention, I'm the featherweight king. He was a featherweight for his first world title. And then I have champ aspirations, just like Conor did, but there has already been champs in the BKFC. So part of me really wants to try to be that 3 division champion. I think I can go to 135, 45, 55. But that's neither here nor there. We gotta get through Nico Gaffe first. But yeah, Conor McGregor helped a lot of shit. he did a huge collab with my crack skull pepper that I have. And that Montana company was pretty excited once they started seeing his stuff on the internet. So yeah, I can't wait to do more work with Conor. I can't wait to see when his next fight is. I really hope he is ringside for my fight in Florida because Mr. Gaffe has a Conor McGregor tattoo on his freaking calf, I think. So fucking corny ass weirdo. I wish I could kick him because I'd kick him. I'd fucking kick the tattoo right off his body, but I'll just fucking knock him out instead. Can't disrespect Conor like that. Shit.
Now, speaking of Conor, any combat fan has seen Conor. Again, there's the controversial moments, there's the moments where you love him, there's the moments where he inspires you, all these types of things. We like there's so many things about Conor McGregor. Since he is your boss, since you've had a decent amount of conversations with him, what is the one biggest misunderstood thing about Conor McGregor that we as fans don't see in front of that camera?
Oh, I would 100% say that he's the most business-minded person I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, there's a song and dance. We partied hard in Sturgis. I'm not gonna get away from that. But I like behind closed doors, even in that party in Sturgis, the conversations we had, I was pissed off at myself for not putting the guy's lights out in Dubai. I really thought that I would finish this guy. He was way tougher than I thought, and he just stood on his feet. But Conor was like, "Hey, it doesn't matter what happens in the fight. You sell it right here." So he's just so business minded. He made it a point to. He could see that I was frustrated. He didn't want me to say nothing stupid. Whispered in my ear. That was caught off screen, but it's like he's always trying to sell, 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 sell. No wonder I nobody knows really how much money somebody else has, but he's got to be getting close to billionaire status. He's got to be close.
I mean, let's be real. The guy is definitely on the Forbes. Like, if we're gonna,
Mhm.
like, he's been on the Forbes for so long. I mean, the guy's almost at like Ronaldo status. He might be like right there, neck and neck with Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, he's done an incredible job with himself. People could say whatever they want about him, but he's done a job to where if he didn't want to pick up not even just UFC gloves, just boxing gloves, he don't have to.
Yeah.
Like, that's the simple thing about that. It's just the money's there, all around he's fine. And I mean, I heard the guy's even going into politics, something about like becoming the president of Ireland. Again, that's a whole different thing near here or there, but I could definitely see the business part. But the thing that you said that really like caught my eye is like him whispering, "Hey, like, I know you're pissed. Don't say anything crazy right here because you are a young fighter,
Mhm.
just like he was. You're trying to get there." So the fact that
Yep.
he would give you even just that little tiny tip right there,
Yeah.
because who knows what could have been said on camera. I'm not saying, again, I'm sure you would have controlled
Mhm.
it to a point where
Right.
it wouldn't have got clipped or nothing like that, or it wouldn't have turned you into some crazy
Mhm.
maniac. But
Yeah.
we got to give him credit there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just those tiny things.
I think he didn't want to see me downplay myself because I was really just gonna probably be like, fuck guys. I almost wanted to say I'm not as good as I thought, but
That too, right?
that's not I dominated the whole fight. I didn't in a 5 round bare knuckle fight, my last 3 bare knuckle fights, I have not had one single cut on my face. You know how great that is going through a 5 round fight with no cuts. So it's like obviously I'm fucking amazing. Whenever I set my mind to something. That's why I don't like after my last fight, I do not care if I finish somebody. I do not care what happens as long as I do what I say I'm going to do. As long as I give that my best effort to break somebody
Mhm.
and just play the game and dance on them a little bit, that's what matters. And I will say, let's piggyback on that Connor question though. He also gives like me. I know I'm one of the top guys in the organization. I cannot speak for other fighters, but he gives me the time of day. If I message Connor about really anything and or even just hype him up or he hypes me up, like there we have constant communication. So it's not like he loves bare knuckle. But Conor McGregor is all in on bare knuckle. I know that he's pretty media silent right now. I think he's getting ready for a big fight, and that's going to be really really exciting. But at the end of the day, like bare knuckle, he is a stake owner in bare knuckle, and he genuinely wants to see us and me do amazing things and be stars and bring eyes to the sport. So he's a genuine dude. He is a genuine dude whenever it's time to be the genuine dude. You know what I mean? And good luck to him on his next fight. Can't wait to see it.
Oh, look, I know you're great at talking, but I can't have you talk out of that. You said he's getting ready for a fight, but it ain't the White House card. You have an idea of like a tiny
I
idea of
actually
what that
don't.
could be?
I don't. I did it. I thought it was going to be the White House card because he has been like radio silent. He has. I've hit him up twice during this camp to share a couple things just to get the fight moving, and he did. But he has just been radio silent. I was totally expecting the White House card. I was hoping on the microphone, which is a massive ask. It's a massive ask, but I was going to be like, hey, let's have your biggest superstar in the organization that you're running sit front row at your next fight at the White House. Which either way, hopefully we get front row tickets to Conor McGregor's next fight. No matter where it is, no matter what it is, I'll bring the BKFC title. I'm the best in the business. So I know that Conor fucks with other people that are the best in the business. So yeah, I genuinely have no idea. I do know that just the speculation is he wants to, this is all just basically out of Dana White's mouth, but it just sounds like it's they need gate, they need pay-per-view, so they might be doing maybe a big old pay-per-view fight for McGregor's return. I have absolutely no idea, but I that makes sense. Makes sense. Like Connor's a massive draw. Let's do a stadium show. Like let's fill an actual stadium like boxers have. Like there's so many things that they could do with Connor. It's like don't drop the ball. Don't drop the ball. Win, lose, or draw. Connor's the guy. Connor's the guy. So that's all. That's pretty much what I'm gonna assume. They're gonna wait for him to either do a pay-per-view or a big old stadium.
The one thing he did say that has aged like fine wine was Cuban Link, Gucci Mink, and without me, this whole ship's sinking.
I
UFC,
know.
I mean, I'm just saying, like those guys that we grew up watching, those like all those guys from the Connors to the Adesanyas, the Usmans, all of them. It's not no more. Like it's
Yeah.
shifting on to something else. But um, since we were talking about how you have like the gift of gab, I will say I got to give you credit because you can sell a pay-per-view very well. I mean, I see. I mean, I can already see like the personality itself is just oozing,
Mhm.
and it's definitely whether you a character, persona, whatever it is, it's definitely something that's gonna make you a lot of money if you do get to the
Yeah.
UFC. However, you don't remind me of Connor when you do. You remind me of the other Montana guy that made his name in the UFC. I see a lot of Sean O'Malley when you talk, just because
Oh yeah.
both of y'all are very like calm persona. You know
Mhm.
what to say just to like tick off the other guy. Because like all these times you're talking, it ain't like you're angry, like you're red faced and everything. You're just like, hey man, like you know,
Yeah.
you're a bum. Like it just irks them the wrong way, and it reminds me so much of O'Malley because he's the same exact way, just calm, cool, collected. Now you already answered my question. I was going to ask, is it something naturally that came to you? But you said that it's something that you picked up on Connor on how to be that personality, how
Mhm.
to be that bad guy. But overall, have you ever gotten that the comparison to Sean O'Malley before? And if not, who is one guy that you might have got compared to as far as the gift of gab or the gift of talking?
I quote Chael Sonnen a lot. So people are like, oh, a little bit of rat wrestler Chael Sonnen, the funny. I do try to see now, I'll never attack anybody too crazy, too personally. Me and Brian Duran had an incredible fucking beef, and I attacked him. He attacked me. It was beautiful. But I do think that I there's a line that should never be crossed 9 out of 10 times. And so yeah, the calmer you are, the funnier you are, the more dismissive you are, it works, and it's real. It's really who I am. And yeah, I've always been the guy in the room that was comfortable talking to the news. Like I was like, let me talk to the fucking news. Like, why are these other like I was a freshman, usually only seniors talk to the news, and like they were talking to me because I could actually talk to the camera. So it's always been something. It's funny, I would love to fight Sean O'Malley. I think that that ship has sailed, though. I think that he's got a tough task. I don't even mean to be going against the United States or Montanan and going for Ayman Zahabi, but I've just seen the way Ayman Zahabi trains, and I think that there's just a little false misconception going on. I think O'Malley thinks that this is a layup fight, and O'Malley can obviously knock anybody out, but I think it's going to be a real tough night at the office for O'Malley. Um, with that said, uh, there was a lot of time that I did look up to O'Malley for a big stretch, but they never gave me the time of day. Like he was asked about me after. You can go to the ESPN interview after he knocked out Aljo. Somebody mentioned my name and he instantly dismissed it, said, "Oh, that kid sucks. He's in my DMs talking shit." I just said I have a friend that beat him in amateur MMA, and he talked and O'Malley talked shit about wrestlers on his story. I slid up and said, "What about Miles Mazurkiewicz, the only wrestler you've ever faced?" That's the only DM. That was the only DM in there from 3 years prior to that, and he hung on to that. So, yeah, O'Malley's done great, man. He won the belt. I'm sure that he is financially in a great position for the rest of his life. So, he's living the dream. But at the end of the day, he said that I suck. So of course I want to fight.
Now, on the serious part of the whole trash talking, a lot of trash talking is a lot of responsibility. What you say, it comes to light. So if you say like, I'm gonna knock this guy out, I'm gonna make him tap, and it goes the other way, that's something that gets clipped. That's something that they're gonna, frame on you. Fight game's unforgiving. The internet's undefeated. You put those two together, it's a deadly combo. The question I have for you is not as far as like a sense of being nervous, but the more you trash talk, do you ever feel like a sense of more pressure coming? Like whenever you do all this trash talk, is there a sense of pressure in you? Like, now I really gotta go get it done. I just said this, now I really gotta go back that up. Is there that type of pressure when the more you trash talk your opponents?
Well, that's kind of why I don't overspeak. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm doing a sport that has judges, human judges to make human error, human ref to make referee error, doctor stoppages, cuts. So I don't give a fuck win, lose, or draw. At this point, I'm playing with house money. Like you said at the very beginning of the interview, I'm the inaugural champion. I will always forever be a world champion for as long as I live. And I did that at 22 years of age. So no matter what, I'm going to be grateful for the process, the opportunity. I'm talking shit because most of the time people deserve it. Um, I know that my hard work and dedication, barring any medical, like seriously, barring any medical bullshit, I will never gas out. So I know that it's going to be fucking brutally hard for somebody to do what I say I'm going to do to somebody. I will not be broken in there. Um, I do think that a lot of things are possible in bare knuckles. So that's why I just kind of surrender the outcome. It's part of the um, bulletproof mindset, the unfair advantage with coach mindset Mike, mindset coach mindset Mike. And yeah, I have zero pressure because at the end of the day, I love talking shit. And just like in a video game, am I going to talk shit, get killed, and then quit talking shit? No, I'm going to probably talk shit harder the next game, to be honest. So, yeah, because at the end of the day, just think how many times have I been called out from people outside of my weight division? Like, honestly, so many fun fights are going to be so fucking fun if I don't have a belt stopping me for like the belt is the literal reason why I didn't fight for 11 months this year. You know what I mean? So like win, lose or draw, I'm going to leave that arena with a smile on my face, my family with me. Like I have a great girlfriend. She's amazing. I have two poodles that will fucking love me. So I think that at the end of the day, there's going to be some like fuck. Like that's a bummer. But the internet already fucking hates me. The internet already uses ouchy words towards me. I'm already the most hated person in BKFC. So whatever, whatever, y'all.
I like the approach to it. It's like, look,
Mhm.
I did what I already made history in this place. I'm already like established myself as a star. They don't like me. It's only up from here. If I lose, then I lose, and you group from there. But and
Yep.
again, even in a sense of like just combat sports in general, combat sports, especially the fans. I hate to be mean, but like let's keep it a buck. They're fickle. They're gonna
Mhm.
like that moment they're gonna crap, and then eventually you'll start building your name back up, and they'll be like, "Oh, I was always with this
Oh
guy,"
yeah.
and I'm like, "Look, you were
Yeah.
probably one of the guys like a year ago
Exactly.
trashing him." Now, you signed that 5 fight deal with BKFC.
Oh yeah.
Now, we talked about your huge plans, becoming a 3 division champion. We talked about all of that. As far as so those are the big plans. What are some of the small goals? And on top of that, we're gonna go straight from small to like kick it even further than what you just said. As far as a combat future, after this like 5 fight deal, again, you never know what could happen. You never know what pops up. But is your like big goal, like your number one career goal? Would you say it's like get to the UFC? Would you say it's, let's try this boxing thing out? Or would you say, let me establish myself as the guy for bare knuckle fighting and let's keep this thing going for as long as I can. Has bare knuckle fighting became the big career, like the biggest career goal for you, or do you feel like you can venture into something different?
Yeah, I love that question. I think that a lot of people think that I would jump ship to go to the UFC, go to glove boxing. I like money talk, both bullshit walks. And at the end of the day, any conversation of any other combat sport will go through David Feldman. And I hope that he bets the house on BKFC, puts me in there, and he helps me market it. You know what I mean? Kind of like Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather did. I just think that no matter where I go, what I do, I'm going to be a star. I'm going to figure out the rule set. I'm going to dominate the rule set, and it's going to be a fun time. But as for now, I'm the king of the BKFC. I'm King Kai. I'm number 3 pound for pound, but the fans voted me in as number 2 pound for pound. Um, so I'm behind Lorenzo Hunt and Austin Trout. No disrespect to Austin Trout. Austin Trout is a dog. He's a friend of mine. But at the end of the day, I think I have double the fights he has. He might have 5 fights now in BKFC, but if he had 4, I have double the fights. So I would love to and I've never been knocked down. He's been knocked down officially on the scorecards. So it's like just little things like that. Lorenzo Hunt's knocking people the fuck out. So it's like really hard for me to want to claim that. But if I go out here and sleep Gaffe and make a huge statement, I just inch closer and closer to being the pinnacle of BKFC. I'm a homegrown athlete. I know Lorenzo Hunt went through the tryouts, but he did have a professional MMA career. Um, I think. I could be wrong there. I think Lorenzo Hunt is a homegrown through the tryouts of BKFC, but I did my pro debut with BKFC. I wanna ride this out. John Jones won his first UFC world title at 23 years of age. He's widely considered the GOAT. That was, UFC was still big then, but it was nowhere near where it is now. And I'm in the same position as that. I was 22 years of age whenever I won my first bare knuckle fighting championship world title. And, maybe I'm the first guy that has a 2040, 20 to 25 fight BKFC career. 20 is a lot. That's a lot of bare knuckles. I already have over an hour of ring time. I could not even imagine 20 fights. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. And I am gonna make myself, my family, my future family, my children, my kids. I'm gonna change everybody's life, and it's gonna be done through fighting, whether it's in the BKFC, UFC, boxing. But I do think bare knuckles gonna pop off, and I'm gonna be at the top whenever that happens.
I like that you said that. Now, kind of like a little bit of a follow up question. Do you believe that bare knuckle is going to start acquiring some of this talent that we're looking at that's going to be out of the UFC pretty soon? Some of these guys that you just can tell like they're not the same that they used to be. They're sticking in there. It seems like they're just fighting guys just to fight guys or whatever the case might be. Do you think some of those guys, like some of those old veterans from the UFC, are going to transition into bare knuckle fighting? Like, how big do you think bare knuckle fighting can actually be?
Oh man, honest to God, I think that they've already been doing that. Mike Perry, Eddie Alvarez, Jeremy Stevens, Yoel Romero, Ben Rothwell, Andre Arlovsky,
You go to the
and
women, Paige Van Zandt.
yeah, Paige Van Zant. So that's kind of been bare knuckles model, and now I think that they need to take those guys instead of having the UFC guys fight ex UFC guys, which on paper makes sense. Let the homegrown guys have a piece of these UFC guys if you're going to bring them in. Get them right before the tail end of their career. You know what I mean? Cody Garbrandt. Um, Give me Cody Garbrandt. But let the homegrown guy, let the guy that has bled for BKFC, not just for a massive check, because those ex UFC guys get paid fat. I know it. They get paid fat. So it's like, give us a chance. And that's whenever we're going to see bare knuckle explode. Holy shit. They have some homegrown guys that are beating the shit out of UFC guys, or even glove boxers. Send any glove boxer you want. Ryan Garcia's like fucking send him too. I don't give a fuck. It's my rule set. It's a completely different sport. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful to these legends, but at the end of the day, bare knuckle is a new rule set, and it's my rule set. I'm the one creating this shit as I go. I'm the one going through 5-round fights, not getting hit, landing 250 punches a fight. So, like, let's let's just get with the program, get Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship a TV deal. Once we get a TV deal, it's all she wrote. It's gonna, once we can get it into households worldwide in an easier fashion, it's going to be the most exciting sport on planet Earth. Because let's be real, like, people love bloodshed, people love violence. The most viral videos are always the most violent ones. I know for a fact Bare Knuckle can do it. I know it.
I want to rewind a little bit before we get into the next topic, just quick. So you said that, because I'm actually kind of interested. You said bare knuckle fighting. You said it's different than boxing because, in the sense, if you look at it from like a perspective, like again, both y'all are just striking, like both y'all are just throwing punches. Obviously, you guys ain't got no gloves, so we're gonna say straight up like bare knuckle fighting would be more dangerous. Are you solely? Is it solely just on the on just no gloves? Like, I'm trying to word this the right way. Where do you think like a boxer is going to really struggle in bare knuckle? Because you got to think, like, you guys fight 25 minutes, they fight 36. Where do you think like a boxer is really going to struggle, like in BKFC?
We actually fight 10 minutes, 5 2-minute rounds.
Oh, wow. Okay. I just got educated.
Yeah. So 5 2-minute rounds. I can sprint the entire time. It's think of, it's professional fighting, no gloves, but it's really an amateur boxing pace, which is way different than a pro's pace. You know, pros are trying to knock each other out. Bare knuckle is all gas, no breaks. I will not get tired. All these other motherfuckers keep getting tired. I don't know how they're getting tired in 2-minute rounds, but I'm not gonna get tired. But there's an active clinch, so I can pull his head down. I can beat him up. As a wrestler, like, these glove boxers expect to raise their hands and the ref splits them up. That's not the case in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. We can clinch, we can post with our forearms, we can. So it's like there's a lot of really, 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 really fun, cheeky things that just, bare knuckle glove boxers are instructed to stop fighting. We don't do that. A lot of glove boxers come up and in their first couple fights will raise their hands whenever the guy starts clinching and the other guy's just beating him up a little bit, and it's like, deal with it, bro. So yeah, glove boxers, it's professional glove boxers are going to struggle with the pace just because it is all gas, no breaks for 5 2-minute rounds. So not terrible, but it also, without gloves, I'm glad it's not 5 5-minute rounds, because I think without gloves, that's just a lot. That's just a lot. But 5 2-minute rounds is perfect. All gas, no breaks. The clinch, I can pull their head down. I can beat them up. I can dirty box like a motherfucker. Like, yeah, it's a bad idea for glove boxers to think that bare knuckle would be easy.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because even like you look at a lot of these professional boxers who are undefeated, and you go and you look at them in the amateurs, because in the amateurs you only got 3 rounds to get it done. I assume in bare knuckle fighting, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but there really isn't a lot of time to have a feeling out process like there is in boxing. You could take that first round to round 1, 2, and 3 to go try to figure your opponent out and figure something out. In bare knuckle fighting, you got 10 minutes to do it. So I feel like there's not really too much of a feeling out process. And on top of that, a lot of those pro boxers who had those losses in the amateurs, you got to think, like maybe they didn't have enough time to feel this guy out and they lost on the cards. So I'm glad that you mentioned that specifically, because that would have been something that, would have just slipped my mind right there. Like, you don't have 36 minutes to go and feel this guy out, or 36 minutes to go and try to plan on the fly. You got to figure it out within the first round, maybe max, if not less. So
yeah, I don't weather the storm. I become the storm. I am the storm. I've been the storm, and I'm gonna always be the storm. So that's kind of what we do, and nobody's been able to stop it yet. And I hope I really genuinely want to see how good I am. Like, am I lying to myself? Am I lying to the public? I don't really think that, but imposter syndrome is a real thing. And especially at the top, never having any guidance at the top from top people, it's been all me. So it's really hard to judge that, and I really hope somebody brings some baller ass fights to me. That way I can really show how good I am. I want to show that I just am different in this game, and I can only do that. I can only become the pound for pound best. I can only become the greatest bare knuckle fighter of all time if people bring it to me. Like, if I keep having bullshit fight after bullshit fight, we expect somebody to do this and they don't do that, and which is the worst idea for them ever. it's like that makes me look silly. But at the end of the day, like I'm breaking all these guys, I'm breaking their will. They don't want to ever fight me again. The only person that knows that has ever asked for a second fight with me is Brian Duran. Everybody else gets out of that fight and they don't want to. I think Brian Duran is just delusional. And if we fight again, I know that we can make a lot of money because we hate each other. We don't like each other. I can just go back to Miami and beat his ass again. So I do think that would be a fun rematch if I'm gonna do it because he actually claims to want it. But I know that that's just another tally on my belt tattoo that's on my leg. So I have a little running tally since I don't want to get 5 belts, 10 belts. I'll just put tally marks.
All right, let's go a little bit more personal, okay? I want to talk about your mom and your girlfriend's impact on your career. Now, first off, shout out to your mom, Lori, I believe her name is. Shout out to your mom, Lori. She popped into my job. She was looking for a dress for your fight. She mentioned that you are a featherweight champion. I said, look, I got a podcast. Let me get the Instagram. I'll DM him. So shout out to Lori because of Lori,
Nice.
you're on the podcast. So
That's actually really cool. That's
yeah.
really cool. I've been honest to God, I've been asked by so many people, but I keep getting busy. And you saw me struggle a couple times with scheduling just because I've been so locked in for this fight. So like, I'm glad that the one that she brought to the table is one of the ones that I'm actually doing because I have one more right after this, but I've said no to so many people just because it's like I don't have the time and I'm so locked in.
No, I appreciate you being on here, man. It's been a great interview. So first off, I'm probably going to ask, it might be a cliche question, but in the beginning, when you told your mom, or maybe she seen it in you growing up, when you told, but when you told her, or when she figured out that you wanted to be a fighter, was she all for it, like hands on, like, hey, go and do it? Or was she hesitant at first and then she kind of picked up on it later?
There was no hesitation. And this is actually it's a moment for me to I guess bitch about my mom, but also just give her the light that she deserves. She battled alcohol addiction before I was born, other drugs. So she's been sober, I think believe over 3 years now, maybe even 4 years now. So like I'm very, very proud of what she's doing and where she has come. But at the beginning of my fight career, there was a lot of childhood resentment. I don't want to sit here and pretend that wasn't a thing. But she has never missed a match. She has never missed a fight. I know that she's a nervous freaking wreck. I know that she also respects all my coaches, and all my coaches know how hard I work. So they say, hey, it is a fight, anything can happen. But like he really is the best. He really is the best. And it's going to take somebody really special or really fucking lucky to beat me. And I think that gives her a level of gratefulness. But I mean, I think she's always seen me wanting to try to be a star of some point growing up. I was always trying to get interviewed by the newspaper whenever I was a young kid. Anytime I saw the newspaper photographer there, I would always try to make sure I was in a photo. So I think that she knew I was going to find a way to be a global superstar. And whenever fighting came across the table, she just said, okay, where's the fight? And even whenever we weren't getting along for only one fight, I wasn't talking to her, but I heard her voice in the crowd. And that's something I'll never forget. She's a great woman, great lady. Very, 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 very happy for the support. So yeah, shout out Mama Stewart.
She came into my job, she wasn't just saying like, hey, this is my son, he's this and that. No, she legit had stickers of QR codes about your Instagram. She pulled them out. She said, take this sticker, go follow my son, go
I
shout
love
him
that.
out, all those types of
I
things.
love that.
She really is like, she
Yeah, I know
really.
that she has her hoodie. She has those stickers. We actually need to get more stickers made. I'm trying to get that done. But yeah, she travels a lot, so she's one of my best traveling salesmen for sure. So she's getting older though. So I just I love the promotion. I love it. I hope it doesn't take too much away from her mentally, physically, because I hope that she can just breathe and enjoy the show. Go enjoy your son, be a superstar. So I love what she's doing though. For
She did
sure.
that old fashioned salesman stuff, like just, hey, look,
For real.
he's
Look,
got to
do
fight.
this.
Take that sticker, do what you want with it. Now,
Nice. Where are you located again? Just out of curiosity.
South Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
South Carolina. Nah. Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. Holy shit. East Coast. Let's go.
Yeah. Now, transitioning to your girlfriend. Your girlfriend's
Oh
actually a
yeah.
your girlfriend, I believe, is a kickboxer. She's in combat sports herself. Now,
Yes.
a lot of these MMA fighters, you know, they got the wives. The wives dress up for the fights and everything like that, and they're cheering, they're yelling, they're doing all these types of things. Some of them are nervous wreck. But I want to ask you, what is it like to have a girlfriend literally in the same sport as you in a combat sport? What is it like, and overall, how do you see that transition from when she's a fan or when you're a fan, when you guys are watching each other's fights? Is she just like those other like wives, you know, kind of nervous, you know, or do you see a difference in her because she does the sport?
So first off, I want to say that she is a little Swiss Army knife, I think is what we call it. She dabbles in Muay Thai, kickboxing. She's recently done MMA. And she actually recently did Muay Thai. She did an MMA fight last year, and then on my Jimmy Rivera card in Montana, she towed the line in a squared circle, but for amateur, they threw 7-ounce puffy gloves on the amateurs and in the bare knuckle rule set, and she fought in the ring and went to a draw. She got knocked silly by we call it crackhead power. But this girl, they got into a little bit of a scramble first 10 seconds of the fight. She's not a showman. She's a polar opposite. She's an introvert. She loves to fight. She loves to learn, but she hates the crowd, hates the camera, hates the lights. So I think that had something to do with it. She got up off the canvas, took her 8 count. It was a 3-round fight, and she beat the dog shit out of this girl. But the girl did not go down at all. So it was 2 rounds to 1, but the 1 round was 10-8, so they ruled it a draw. But on to the question, how she supports me, man, from making sure the diet's on point, knowing that our house isn't going to have fucking little snack foods for, 8 to 12 weeks out of the year, out of hopefully twice a year. But she really does sacrifice a lot for me. She makes sure our poodles are taken care of. Then on fight night, I know that she's a nervous wreck, but at the end of the day, she knows that I love the camera. And I love the light and all that, but she also knows how nervous she gets. So she really helps dial everything down to where even I get relaxed by her being around me. She just kind of helps maintain my corner. She's at most of my practice. She's basically in the corner. She sits in the barricade. She always has a seat inside the barricade next to my corners. Because most places we have a lot of death, like whether they're real or not. Like I don't want my girlfriend alone in the crowd. So I put her inside the barricade. If that ever changes, she'll just become a corner, and my corner will sit front row. He can afford the seats. So not to say anything. I love my guy, but he would just sit behind her and it would be fine. Um, but she just knows what needs to happen. She knows what to tell the corners before they come and help me during the round. She knows, like, she's yelling for me technique as a corner, sitting in there, like, and then my official corners will repeat it after her because, like I said, she's at most of my training sessions, most of my sparring sessions. She's always there. She's always in my corner. She held pads for me for 2 of my world titles because my coach's back was hurting, like his back was fucked up, which is why I actually moved out of town because I moved from Montana to Spokane, Washington because he told me to. He's like, hey, I can't keep up with you. Like, you're doing different things right now, and we got to get you training properly. So shout out Coach Dave Evans for just being honest. A lot of coaches can't swallow their pride like that, and he did. And still in contact till this day. I think he's going to vacation with us in Hawaii after the fight. So shout out Coach Dave. But yeah, Dakota is a little rock star, Swiss Army knife. Whether she's in my corner, I'm in her corner. I'm a nervous fucking wreck, but I know she doesn't like it. So it's like I I know that she doesn't like the lights and camera. I know how she feels, so it makes me extra nervous for her. Because it's like, oh my god, I know that she doesn't like this right now. I'd like, fuck. But at the end of the day, I will always believe in her. I'm always gonna support her, and with me in her corner, she is undefeated with 1 draw. I guess I forgot about the 1 draw, but we've had a pretty good run together.
That's beautiful, man. And I don't know if I shouted her out in the beginning. I think I just said girlfriend, but shout out Dakota Rhodes.
Dakota Rough Roads.
Dakota Rough Road.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But it's interesting how you said that what makes you nervous isn't her fighting, it's the attention that she gets from fighting.
Mhm.
And that's the
Mhm.
interesting part about it, is because overall, I would have never guessed, like, again, I don't know her too well. Again, I didn't, like, I didn't do all the research and everything like that. I looked at a little brief research, but I would have never guessed like being around you. It's like it's introvert and extrovert, but they do say opposites attract. So
Yeah.
overall, do you think that she's going to get better with that attention if she starts taking off, or if she starts getting more experience with this? Do you think she'll get more comfortable with it, or do you think she'll always be like, to herself, quiet, and go in there and handle business?
She's going to be business as usual. We don't know how much she is going to really want to fight. In the not near future, but in just she actually recently celebrated her Dirty 30. So we're gonna go celebrate that in Hawaii. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna go to the Bare Knuckle Fight card out there. She's just kind of fighting to fight because she loves the fights, and she's gonna continue to do lower level shows. I think we're gonna do a bunch of Muay Thai and kickboxing local shows here in Spokane because that's just a smaller environment for her. And then we'll just see. I have a great management team in KO Reps, and they've pitched fights here and there for her, and I think that they definitely wouldn't steer in the wrong direction. I love my management, and so if good opportunities arise, I know that she's one of the toughest 115-pound females in the United States right now. So as an amateur, in the amateur circuit, I would put her against most amateur 115ers right now. She just didn't wrestle growing up. Like a lot of these girls coming in now are like there's female wrestling. But even then her jiu-jitsu is pretty good. So women's wrestling is a little different than men's wrestling. A little different. I'm not disrespecting them. I love how big women's wrestling has helped grow the sport of wrestling. But it's just a little bit of a different intensity. So it's a little easier to learn and defend and to know what to expect. There's still going to be the studs here and there, but it's not going to be so crazy like men's wrestlers. You get a average wrestler, he's a fucking meathead that's going to beat your head in. Yeah, I think she whatever she wants to do is going to be what is going to happen, because we just take it day by day, and we live our best life, and if fights come up, we take fights. It's a little bit more set in stone, but that's kind of how we live our life.
Oh yeah, and if we're gonna be honest, man, like I don't think she's gonna be standing in front of no female Brock Lesnar's or like
Right.
Bo Nichols, anything like that. Oh my God, why did I forget his name? Help me out here.
Gable Stevenson.
Gable Stevenson, thank you.
Mhm.
But yeah, overall, I mean, again, just starting, sky's the limit, man. So,
Yeah.
I do wish her the best of luck, and I hope that she continues going. I hope that both of y'all can be on the rise together.
Mhm.
Now, I'm going to shut off all this combat talk. We're going to get to personal, a lot more fun personal at that.
Hell
We're going to
yeah.
get to rapid fires. Now, I'm going to let you know this right now. I know that you're a competitive person. I time these rapid fires. So your time is being compared to a lot of others. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of rapid fires. Just answer them as best as you possibly can. And whenever you're ready, we're going to start that timer.
We're ready.
All right, let's go. First off, favorite food?
Pizza.
Favorite movie or TV show?
Step Brothers.
Dream vacation?
Hawaii with my girlfriend.
Okay. Favorite genre of music?
Rap.
If you had to pick one animal that describes you, what would it be and why?
A lion. He's the king of the jungle.
One superpower that you could pick, what would it be?
Invisibility.
Your favorite hobby outside of the sport?
Fishing.
And then last but not least, one role model and why? Who is your biggest role model?
I would say in my life it'd be Sears Tiernan in all of combat sports. Jordan Burroughs, Olympic wrestler.
Ladies and gentlemen, 47.14. That is the number one recorded time for the Puncher's Point. Now you're going up against another three combat athletes. So overall, you killed it, man.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna make sure, like, I'm gonna make sure it's being held. But overall, before we get you out of here, I got one more question. Basically, I tell every single boxer, MMA fighter, whatever the case might be, I tell them all, look straight into the camera. And if you had to give anybody watching, again, because you never know who the viewers are, amateur boxers, regular fans, whatever it might be, if you had to give them one piece of advice, what would it be?
To any combat sport athlete, wrestler, boxer, MMA fighter, bare knuckle fighting championship, world champion, it doesn't matter. If you want to do it to the best of your ability. Do not cut corners And do not take no for an answer. If you want to do something in your life, just put one foot in front of the other. Do it smart, because fighting is dangerous. If it was anything else in life that wasn't dangerous, I would say just fucking send it. But in combat sports, really make sure you go through the process, the steps to protect yourself. Be able to protect yourself at all times. If you can do that, you're ready for a fight. And then bust down every single door and climb every single mountain you could ever possibly climb, because that's what wrestlers do. Wrestlers will always do it best, baby.
Look at this guy, King Kai Story. He's a natural at this personality thing. You're gonna be a great streamer, man.
Oh yeah.
Now, before we get you out of here, I do also want to give you the platform, and I do want to give you the room to shout out any social medias, any type of business, whatever you want to do. Just feel free to give a quick shout out before we wrap this up.
Guys, first off, follow me and subscribe on Twitch, twitch.tv/King Kai 145, King Kai 145 on Twitch and Instagram. And it's just King Kai on Facebook. I also stream live on there. Outside of that, Sing Contracting, my absolute biggest sponsor, biggest supporter. We also got a new one, Cookies, the weed and apparel brand, just hopped on board. So shout out Cookies, shout out Death Grip Wax. My mustache is not waxed right now, but it will be on fight night using Death Grip Wax. And then the best conditioning in the world comes from the DL Difference. DL Training Systems. Coach Dylan Lemery has created a fucking monster, guys. I'm too good. Last but not least, sign up, Curgo.com. Use code King Kai, set your VPN to Germany and get ready for fight night. You can bet on my fight, and that is the lock of the year. Get it early because the odds are going to go insane. Everybody's giving Nico Gaffe some confidence. Everybody's making him seem like my toughest challenge to date. I really don't think that's the case, but Vegas is not that smart whenever it comes to bare knuckle fighting. And I think that you guys are going to get the King Kai Stewart line at a very, very, very cheap discount.
Kai, I appreciate you coming on to the podcast. It's been great. It's been a lot of laughs, a lot of educational moments. You know, overall, it's just spotlight a lot on bare knuckle fighting. So I appreciate you coming on to this podcast. And last but not least, go get that dub on March 20th, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, bro. We'll talk soon.
Oh yeah, for sure. And with all that being said, make sure y'all continue to tune into the Puncher's Point. We got some great content coming for y'all. If y'all want more interviews like the one we had with King Kai Stewart, make sure y'all definitely let us know. Make sure y'all continue to like, share, comment, subscribe on the YouTube, on all the podcast platforms. Make sure y'all go to the social media for all of the updates as far as fight news, as far as episodes, as far as the boxing magazine that we got as well. And last but not least, make sure y'all stay on point with the Puncher's Point.